and welcome. I believe I'm now live. If you can hear me, if you can see me, then awesome. Put your comments in the comments box below so I can just double check I've got everything going. Okay. I think we're good to go. So this is the first time the stress management workshop is presented to you live via the Leeds Beckett University's Facebook page. If you haven't liked the page already, then give it a big fat like. We always are appreciative of your support. But this is the now the 7th stress management workshop for Leeds Beckett University. My name's Jen, and I can't believe we've been doing this now for 7 weeks. So I'm just going to go through a few points just to keep you up to speed of what we've been doing before, because we have been on Zoom before. But let me just get my other page up. So yeah, we've had 6 weeks prior to today. So week number 1 was the Are You Stressed assessment. So if you are feeling quite stressed out right now, it's been a massive change in most people's lives in different ways, on so many different levels, and it's been an unexpected change as well. And there are some people that I know of who have never actually experienced stress before, and it can be quite a daunting experience because stress can creep up in so many different ways. It's all very individual and unique to that person, but there's a load of physical and mental effects that you can have if you are struggling with stress. So should you be maybe working more or less, or you've got family issues or financial problems, or it could be a whole range of things. But these previous 6 weeks were basically to give you tools and techniques in order for you to use, implement into your life in order to get the results that you're looking for. So we all want to be at our optimum health, and unfortunately in life things just happen, and especially like the COVID crisis, it's been a crazy time for most. So with all these with these weeks in mind, it's all with a practical element. So very practical, and I suggest if you do want to ping back to any of the weeks, go down and find the links in the description box below. You can actually link up to my YouTube channel, and that's where I've hosted all my workshops. So week number 1 was going through the Are You Stressed assessment. So that was actually a 25-part assessment, 25-part questionnaire, and you could have fallen into 3 categories. But anything over 14 points would have been something that I would have suggested for you to make change if you were experiencing high stress levels. So don't be too alarmed if you do go and take that test and you are, 14 points plus. I know when I first took the test, I was 23 out of 25. But again, I'll talk about this later on in our workshop today. There are ways of obviously implementing, the tools into your life in order for you to safeguard yourself from the stress, because it can obviously lead to physical and mental challenges should you leave stress unchecked. So week number 1 was really important, Are You Stressed assessment. Week number 2 was the analysing your here and now. So I put a bit of a spin onto this technique that we used in that week. It was the wheel of life. But we actually went through the before, during, like your present, and after the COVID crisis. So we actually sat down and worked out where you felt you were in the main areas of your life. So areas like your financials, your health, your love and romance, family connections. And you could see if you were to do the before, during and after, the difference that a lot of people have actually found themselves in. So again, a very useful tool based on that Wheel of Life tool. And yeah, I've just put a bit of an extra spin onto that one, because I actually introduced as well the 4 natural resources, which I'm going to be talking to you about later on in the workshop, which is your cardio, strength, balance and good nutrition, that Leeds Beckett University caters very well for in order to intervene with your stress levels should they be quite high during this really tough time. Week number 3 was your 4 mental states. And I try to generalise just to make it a bit easier for people to digest, because obviously I feel that I'm not too educated on in terms of neuroscience. However, it's good just to have a brief understanding as to maybe categorise the mental state that you feel that you're in at any one time. So it could have been something like an anxious or a depressive state, anything from that, which is, you know, you would imagine like a lowest type of state that you can be in, to like a very high positive state of, oh, thank you, Samantha. A very positive state like flow states. We went through the 4 mental states, and we also went through tools and techniques in order to get you from one state to another. So that was really useful. So that was week number 3. Week number 4 was going through or practicing, actually, encouraging you to practice gratitude. And something I know in my experience growing up, it wasn't quite encouraged, it wasn't really spoken about, nothing really we sort of looked into, nothing that I was exposed to, you know, when I was growing up and going through school. So it's really such a simple thing to be grateful for the things in your life, but we don't tend to practice gratitude, and it's really powerful. And I went through the science behind being grateful in week number 4. There's a lot of experiments and research behind gratitude as a concept, and we went through ways that you could actually learn to become grateful in your life. And I know me and my son now, we talk about our 3 most grateful experiences of that day before we go to sleep. And again, that was spoken about in that week, because if you are thinking and feeling, you know, your gratitude towards the things in your day, you actually end up sleeping better, and that is the science there. So week number 4 was practicing gratitude. Week number 5 was 25 self-care tips. I wasn't suggesting that you do all 25, but definitely gave you some ideas that you can quite easily implement into your life. Some of them could have been done instantly, or maybe some planning around to implement into your life, but it's always good to look after yourself, especially if you've got loads of responsibility at the moment and you haven't got any time for yourself. It's when you're stressed that you end up giving so much of you out there to everyone else, but you need to start winding back in and start really looking and focusing within. And the 25 self-care tips in week number 5 was definitely a very good practical workshop, so you can at least have ideas to implement a few to keep your spirits up and your happiness high as possible. And week 6 last week was about personal development. So really, the previous weeks to week number 6 was really about personal development as a whole. It's a very good topic, a very awesome topic for me anyway. I found personal development as a concept really when I started to picking up business books back in 2011, 2012, and I've always continued with personal development. But again, I don't know about your experiences growing up and going to school or uni. I'm 36 and I'll be 37 next week, and personal development as an idea, as an area of study, wasn't, again, spoken about, it wasn't encouraged, it wasn't part of my curriculum. So I just stumbled across it really in my mid-20s. So I would definitely highly recommend that you start looking into personal development. I'm not saying that you do personal development, but it's brilliant, I think, as one book leads to another, one tool leads to another. And for me anyway, in my experience, it's what keeps me motivated, especially when the stress can creep in. So they're the 6 weeks we've had previously to today's 7th workshop. The links are below, but also Leeds Beckett University has all these videos on their YouTube channel as well. So go ahead over there and subscribe to their YouTube channel. And yeah, we've had fun so far. So I recommend that you go grab yourself a pen and paper, or have your phone handy as well, or feel free to make a mental note. Pen and paper not too necessary this week, but if you want to, grab yourself a quick drink and let's get comfortable. And we're here till 6:15, so I'm just looking at the time now. So today's week 7, 13 fast and effective self-development exercises. So it follows on from last week's workshop. And again, self-development, a very, very good thing. It just, if you want results in your career, you want results in your fitness, and you just want to overall feel better in yourself, as humans, we strive to grow, we strive to learn, never stop learning. I know when I finished university, it wasn't really a thing to continue the learning. Most of us decided to get a job, which you would do to pay off your fees, and then that was it really. So I fell into business back in 2012, And that's when I started all my learning again. And in all honesty, I didn't use my degree when I went into business. But yeah, a little bit about that further on. But who's this workshop for? So it's for anyone really who is experiencing oh, thanks, Cassie. Experiencing the challenges of today. Most of us have been thrown off track, which is inevitable because everyone has been touched in this in so many great ways. And if you're feeling the panic, you're feeling quite doubtful, you're worried and confused, and you're just experiencing maybe anxiety for the first time, don't worry too much, because it is really normal, especially for where we are right now. And we can say we're all in the same boat. We are experiencing, a change together, but that change could mean so many things to so many different people in so many different ways. So it's not one size fits all. So yeah, I'm here to help you again. It's a very practical workshop today, and like all the other previous weeks as well. So if you are feeling stuck, demotivated, you've got a lack of direction, you're so stuck on the past, so you just cannot see clearly into the future, you're hesitant to make change, and you're going to those briefings on TV every day, finding some sort of glimmer of hope, and it's not quite satisfying that, then yeah, we've all been there. We've all been reading the news, reading all those blogs and articles out there, and you just don't know what to think. You don't know how to react. It's a real confusing time for most. So yeah, feel free to jot down any questions that you might have. We can answer them at the end, or if they do flag up during the workshop, then I can, answer them here as well. So all good there. A little bit about me, just give some context, and we'll go into the practical element after. So yeah, my name is Jen, and I do spin at Beckett University on a Monday and Thursday, 5:15 till 6. And as mentioned, I actually am a business owner as well. My business journey started in 2012, and all hunky-dory stuff. It was just one of my heydays. I overall run 4 indoor cycling studios, so 2 in Shanghai, China, and 2 here in the UK in Leeds. And the 2 in China in particular were awesome, amazing, great. Everything on paper seemed great, but behind the scenes, that's when I started to run into my own struggles with stress. Now, I'm the very extreme case, and that's why I feel I've got some sort of authority to be talking to you about stress, because, yeah, mine was very off the scale. So I experienced severe business burnout, which actually led to my depression, unfortunately. So I had a lot to learn about running a business, because I definitely had the traits that most entrepreneurs and, business owners have, which is the high achiever and always got to strive for perfection, and perfectionism doesn't exist. And it just seemed really that my traits got in the way of my desired results, and I was giving everything out there of me to the business, to my friends and family, and to everyone, and I just wasn't looking after myself. I was spinning all the time, covering classes, doing the books, obviously running the 2 businesses in Shanghai, China, obviously running a business outside in a foreign country has its own challenges as well. And it was just, yeah, I just did not know how to stop. I didn't know how to relax, chill out. And my lifestyle was very up and down, and my health mirrored that. So yeah, I was experiencing burnout, but the professionals out there, the health medics, they didn't quite understand what was going on with me. So I ended up living with my stress symptoms for about 4 years, really, on and off, until I actually came back and realised I was actually getting depressed over the burnout. So through natural resources, I managed to get through it. I didn't want to take tablets, not that I'm against taking tablets at all, but the antidepressants, but definitely through cardio strength, balance, good nutrition, 4 natural resources got me out of my darkest days. And when you think about it, stress is quite a unique experience. Obviously, again, as mentioned, I'm a very unique and extreme case of a victim of stress. But just to give you a little, description on stress, that the amygdala is a fear and response mechanism in the brain, and when we're stressed, it kicks in and then sends chemical and electrical signals to the motor cortex, which is our ability to take action. So either freeze, fight, or run away. So if you're realizing right now that you have a change in behavior, you're being short with yourself or short with your loved ones, or you're just not really feeling yourself, then yeah, I think that's the time where you need to start checking in with yourself and, you know, seeing if you actually are carrying stress. And again, it comes out in different ways, physically and mentally. So yeah, cardio is awesome. Again, Leeds Beckett University does some amazing you know, fitness classes around this, but it's obviously great and an instant anyway stress release. Obviously I love my spinning, but if you can't spin, which obviously I can't, we all can't, most of us anyway, you can do this by running or even just mildly walking. You can do it by Zumba, body pump, club dance classics, that sort of thing. And what I mean by strength, in order to intervene with your stress as a second natural resource to implement into your life, is just those strength-based classes. Because if you're dealing with loads of mental stress, you don't also want to put on top of that mental stress physical stress as well. You want to be able to, with ease, you know, carry your kids, bring in the shopping, do the chores around the house, want to do the gardening, things like that. So you need to, I think it's imperative to look after your body and strengthen you know, yourself in order to safeguard yourself and reduce your risk of injury. And it also will enhance your cardio exercises as well. So very good on the strength. Balance is a third resource that I suggest you implement into your life. And this is quite a deep area, and I won't go too deep into this workshop, but basically, if you can't go outside, go inside. And it's all about looking in, checking in with yourself, and it's meditation that got me out of my darkest days with depression and stress. So balance is really about getting to learn about yourself again and really learning how to look after yourself. Good nutrition, we all know what to do, but when stress really does hit, you can't see the wood through the trees. Being good and aiming for the healthy option isn't really what most people like to do. So again, if you were to really be strong and try to always look after yourself by the foods that you eat, then you will always be quite far away from stress really pinning you down. So yeah, this is obviously week number 7, 13 fast and effective self-development exercises. So you can write all these down, don't get me wrong, or you can just make a mental note and just implement, let's say at least 3 to 5 if you want to. And personal development, I find, again, it's such a great thing for you to embark on and see it as a journey. It's a lifelong activity. For me, I can only talk from my experience really, but it gives me so much motivation. I feel like I'm on a path. I don't feel like I'm drifting. I feel like I've got purpose, and all these types of feelings that come from me doing my own personal development just gives me that extra oomph in my day, or, you know, it increases my happiness. And whenever I'm feeling a little bit low, I just maybe read another book, or I might just watch a motivational video, or it could be that I'm really engrossed in a project. You just got to keep in that mode of learning and growing as a person, and then you'll end up realizing and seeing around you in your other areas of your life, so your career, your friends and family, love and romance, all the other stuff, your you know, physical health, it all just starts to improve, and you just strive to be the best version that you can be. So through these exercises, there's 13 as mentioned. Just feel free I'll get my words out. Feel free to just select the top 3 for you. So number 1 is do 1% extra every day. What are you doing that is quite measurable? So for example, if you're doing sit-ups, add an extra 1. You know, this is how simple it can get. Just try and do 1% of something extra per day, because even that slight feeling of progression will give you that feeling of achievement. So whatever you're doing, if you're studying or researching into something, or, you know, actually doing some workouts, just do what you feel is an extra 1%. Just go that extra mile. So that is one tip. The second one is monitor your self-talk. Now, most of us do go around in our days and not know half of the stuff that's going on, if not pretty much all of the stuff that's going on in your head. And it's things like meditation that will slow that chatter down. But do you feel you're kind to yourself with your words? And it might be a whole new concept to you right now. You may not have even realized how you actually talk to yourself. But if you're getting stuck with something, or you are feeling stress in some way, just take a minute to yourself, literally to yourself, and just watch what's going on. If you can catch my drift, watch what you are talking about in your head and to yourself. So it's all about monitoring. You don't have to do anything about it, just observe and just accept that's where you're at right now. So it's good to monitor. Third tip, learn to say no. Very, very hard to do. I know I've struggled in my time to say no to people, to projects, to extra workload. And again, that's what got me into burnout, because you feel you can take on the world, but look after yourself. If you're taking on too much, there's only one of you. You've only got one, you know, set of hands, and you know, you've only got so much amount of energy. You've only got so much of you to give out to whatever, your career, your business, your family. And if it's too much, you know, draw the line in the sand, just say no. You can be polite about it, of course, but very good and important to lay down your barriers if you're struggling, if you're taking on too much. You don't have to take too much. Okay, so it says, sorry, we're having trouble with playing this video. Oh. I don't know if you can hear me or not. That is a shame. What I'll do, I'm going to end the video and then go back again. So 3, 2, 1.